In the past 30 days, I've spent over $70,000 on Facebook ads. This has allowed me to create 5 tips I think are really important for you all to understand to improve your current results, maybe figure out what's not working for you, and ultimately find some success with Facebook advertising. So in this video, I'm gonna break down those 5 tips and dive into my experience spending $70,000 in 30 days. So tip number 1 is by far the most important. If you look below the video right now, you're gonna see something that resembles a thumbs up. If you click that, it's gonna boost your results by 83.7%. So I highly recommend starting out with that. Shout out to those of you that actually, hit the like button for me. Anyways, let's get into the actual first tip. Step number 1, build the DNA of your ad account by collecting high quality data from the beginning. I think this is something that's often overlooked. I see a lot of people launching these PPE worldwide campaigns, just driving as much traffic as possible and then immediately launching a 95% lookalike audience based on your viewers. And it doesn't work for them. And why is that? It's because the data that you provided Facebook to generate those lookalikes is low quality. They weren't converting. It was just pointless traffic. What's been working for me and what worked in this specific situation is launching interest-based targeting with the initiate checkout or purchase objective. Initiate checkout is a great way to test audiences at a lower budget, but still produce high quality audiences. And I highly recommend doing this, either doing add to cart, initiate checkout, or purchase from the beginning with interest-based targeting. This is gonna let Facebook collect higher quality data that you can utilize later on down the road. So think about it like this. With a new ad account, a new product, it's essentially like a small child. You're creating the DNA, you're creating the genes. And by providing this small ad account, this new ad account with low quality data, it's going to be a low quality ad account in the future. Obviously, you can change this around. This isn't always the case, but this is what I've been seeing recently. So it's kind of like if you provide us a baby with really high quality, all natural food, it's going to grow strong and healthy and all of that. It's the same way with an ad account. So look at the data as though you're building the DNA of your ad account. Focus on high quality data from the start. Even if it's not converting right away, just collect as much of it as possible. I think this is really important and something that, once again, is often overlooked. So don't just try to send as much traffic as possible. Try to send as much high quality traffic as possible to your store and collect those custom audiences, because they will be very, very valuable in the near future. Step number 2, learn to use the new Facebook automations to automate your scaling. This made my life so much easier when I was getting to spending $5,000 per day. I didn't have to sit there and manually analyze every single aspect of my ads and my ad account. I had Facebook automation rules in place that I knew were correctly handling things at specific times of the day. So learn to use Facebook automations, but I need to preface this. You can blow up your ad account by using Facebook automations. For example, I incorrectly set what campaigns I wanted to scale at what time. So one day I had a campaign that I was testing. I launched at like $100 per day. That morning, the Facebook automation took my budget from $100 per day to $1,000 per day due to incorrect automation I had set up. So if I wouldn't have caught it, I would have spent on essentially worthless audiences. It didn't work out for me. So I would have spent $1,000 and generated no results. So learning to use automations is really important, but you need to preface the scaling with automations by testing with automations and ensuring everything is working correctly for you. What I'm gonna do is actually build out a small template of my Facebook automation rules, and I'll put them in a link in the description so you guys can take them and implement them into your ad account, ensuring that everything is set up correctly. This worked tremendously well for me, allowed me to scale completely automated and profitably. So highly recommend checking out my automations. I will link them down in the description, but that is step number 2. Tip number 3, only feast on the profits when your supply chain can handle it. This might seem like a weird tip for a Facebook, high spending tutorial video, but it's really, really important, and I'm gonna explain why here. I went from doing $13,000 to $14,000 days, making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 profit a day, to cutting my marketing budget in half, and now I'm making anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 profit per day. Why would I do that? It was because my supply chain was having difficulty keeping up with the demand and shipping orders on time. A big aspect of this that I feel like these other YouTube gurus don't really discuss too much is keeping the customer happy. It's very important nowadays, aside from just morals and ethics and keeping customers happy, but it's also very important to keeping your ad account enabled. If you piss off a customer, your ad account's gonna get disabled within a couple weeks now. They put the surveys up on people's news feeds, and if people aren't receiving their products in a timely manner, say goodbye to your business, because it's not gonna last with Facebook ads. So I had initially told my supply chain to expect around 100 orders per day. I took it to 200 orders per day for like 5 consecutive days. Every day I was maintaining communication with my logistics company, my supplier, and on the 4th day, they're like, hey, we are actually going to start having trouble keeping up with the demand. Any way you could drop it? And I said, of course. That is what I wanted you to tell me from the start, just being transparent. Don't tell me you can fulfill something for me if it's not possible. A huge aspect of this is the customer aspect, keeping the customers happy, customer service. So only feast on those big profits when your supply chain can legitimately handle it. Otherwise, you're going to be in a world of trouble with Facebook. You're going to have issues with PayPal holds, Shopify holds, and chargebacks, refunds, all of that fun stuff. So guys, only scale when you're ready to scale. Tip number 4, have 4 to 5 winning creatives ready for a 1 week period at a time. What do I mean by this? I mean, every week that you're scaling at like anywhere from $2,500 a day to $5,000 a day in ad spend, you need to have 4 to 5 creatives ready for any given week. So what I did is I actually hired a video editor. I taught him how I edit my videos, how I produce my creatives, and I have him producing anywhere from 3 to 5 creatives every single week. Some of them will never be used, but some of them I'm ready to drop them in at any given moment where I experience ad fatigue, rising costs, and when I drop these in, guys, my results just skyrocket. Once again, my costs go back down. So creatives are everything, and if you are only scaling with one creative, it's not going to last very long. People get tired of it. There's competitors out there unethically stealing your video clips without you knowing. So constantly producing new clips and new creatives to use is insanely important, and it can't be overstressed enough. On to tip number 5. Optimize your website funnel and your brand funnel by analyzing your Facebook pixel. There's an incredibly powerful tool within Facebook where you can build out a funnel with actual analytics from your pixel and see where customers are dropping off. By improving those drop-off rates, even by 1 to 2%, you can generate $50,000 to $100,000 more at this level of scale solely off those small changes. I actually do have an entire video on this subject showing you guys how to set this up. I'll link it down in the description. I highly recommend everyone doing this no matter what scale you're at, because it will help you make more money and more profit. Let's say we're driving 100,000 visitors per month to our store. Let's say there's a 2% conversion rate. That means we would have 2,000 customers. If every customer has an average order value of, in our case, it was $97, that's $194,000 in revenue. Now let's do this with a 3% conversion rate. So let's say we analyzed our funnel with the pixel setup, and now we have a 3% conversion rate. So let's enter this here. 3,000 customers times a $97 average order. That's $100,000 more by increasing your conversion rate by 1%. Small changes make huge differences in your revenue and your results. So by analyzing this pixel funnel, you can make those 1 to 2 to 3% increases and triple your earnings. It's no joke, and it's something that you need to be doing. Overall, those are the 5 biggest things that I learned by spending over $70,000 on Facebook ads in the past 30 days. I hope you guys got value out of this. I hope that you take action on these tips and implement them into your current advertising setup. I wish you guys the best of luck with your e-commerce brands for the month of December. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Dylan out.